guys, some Gamer Dude here. Last time I may have confused some people saying there were 40 missing Pokemon in Generation 1, not 39, as the games do have 151 and were meant to originally have 190. Today is that topic and our favourite fetus Pokemon, Mew. Quick refresher for those who didn't watch the last video and don't know the story. During the development of Generation 1, Game Freak made obscene amounts of Pokemon, but the game itself was only going to have 190 total, about a fifth of what has been said to have been designed at the time. For whatever reason, space or designs not being up to snuff, more likely space, 40 were cut. After the debug tools were removed, Mew was added in secret, 2 weeks before release. Where this is interesting to me is that while Mew wasn't originally meant to be included, the game openly references him twice. The Cinnabar Mansion's documentations about Mew and Yana, its testing and the creation or birth of Mewtwo, as well as Mewtwo's own existence itself. The game, even if Mew wasn't there, would still explicitly mention Mew and alludes to his existence in Mewtwo's very own existence. Mew was a Pokemon in Generation 1, whether he was there physically or not. Where do we go with this? Is Mew one of the cut 40? I would actually lean towards no. The reason being that he's plot relevant. He really shouldn't have been cut had he actually been cut with how important he is to the lore and story. Why would you mention something that you cut out? This is where Generation 2 comes in. Generation 1 took 6 years to develop, had to stop and start production. This is evident in the Pokemon Hex value as it goes from random to evolution lines after a certain point. It was absolutely hell. And given that Shigeki Morimoto said that designs cut from Generation 1 were held back, sequels were probably always on the cards. It was a big vision. However, said development hell and one last delay from late 1995 to February 1996 probably made it seem like a sequel wasn't going to happen. Pokemon was just going to be a done and dusted affair. Hence the inclusion of Mew, to give what would be an aborted franchise a sense of closure. It was his creator, Shigeki Morimoto, that put him in, probably thinking that Mew wouldn't see the light of day otherwise. This is all presumption on my part, but given the interviews and documentation about Generation 1, it makes sense, just filling in the blanks. Hard to believe, but even when a sequel could happen, Pocket Monsters Gold and Silver, Pocket Monsters 2, it was meant to be the end too, but it snowballed into a massive franchise. What does this have to do with Generation 2? Well, can't I get to the point? What is the point? Well, I believe Cinnabar Mansion and Mewtwo were originally meant to be a sequel hook. Mew was going to be the plot or part of the plot of the second games. Mew was not intended to be in Generation 1, but mentioned in them. Added at the last minute when the future wasn't certain. But then we know what happened and things changed. Pokemon was a success. The plot probably changed a lot during development because the plot string was used. Gold and Silver didn't have a smooth development cycle either, being delayed about 2 years from late 1997 to 1999 and having its original form largely scrapped. Because of the problems with Generation 1 and 2's development, Download Mon became a thing and the archetype of the small mystical Pokemon became a trope. We know Gold and Silver have very little in common with the original preview word Space World 97, so little that even Pokemon from the demo aren't in the final game or even appeared again in anything resembling what was there. It's not a stretch to say that the original plans were either further from the finished product. As a big fan of the original 2 generations, finding them the most interesting because Game Freak was a lot less professional at the time with game programming and design previews at the time and versus now, I would absolutely adore a book going over the design process of Generation 1 and 2. Cut content, alpha designs, original plans that got scrapped, something like Hyrule Historia for Pokemon, that and a nice big book of Ken Sugimori's original artwork for Generation 1 in high quality. That would be amazing. The original artwork has so much character versus the generic anime art style that followed. But who knows? With Hyrule Historia, they might just do it someday. This has been some Gamer Dude, and I'll see you guys next time.